everybody. My name is Mandeville. I did come from Olympia. I hope you like me. I'm feeling a little bit weird about my jokes. They might be different or something. Basically, if you think of comedy as music and tonight as one long album, these are the jokes that the drummer wrote. So I have a friend at work, and she was telling me about how she and her boyfriend the other night were doing that cute thing that couples do, where they compare celebrity crushes. You know, like they make the list of the 10 celebrities they're most attracted to. But my friend got upset because her boyfriend could only name one person. Like, according to him, he was only attracted to Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And so then they did that cute thing that couples do, where they got into a very real fight over something completely imaginary. And like, do you think that all couples just get to the point where they're basically sharing a gas leak? Like, where their love is an infected rye bread that they're just both nibbling off of? That says it makes sense to get in an argument like this, that it's okay to spend a night just holding up pictures of Paz Vega and screaming, "Why don't you find her attractive?" But like, I kind of understand, like I kind of sympathize with the guy, because it's hard to make a list of the people you're attracted to, because it's not logical. You know, like there's a difference between attractiveness and attraction. Like attractiveness, that's as easy as a mathematical formula. But like attraction, that's a stewy subjective mess. Full like sense memories and sideways emotions and such. Like, I can see why people think that Jennifer Aniston's attractive, because her face is symmetrical. And her eyes are placed apart correctly. And her hair has a sheen that like implies healthiness, and that she has a genetic code that should be passed on. But she does nothing for me. But then the other day, I was busing to Tacoma, and there was a woman on the bus, and she was reading Nabokov, and she was tapping a pencil against her nose as she read Nabokov, and I about lost my mind. Like, I couldn't think straight. I couldn't speak. I missed my bus stop, and it was the Tacoma Dome, which is a pretty big bus stop. It's like the size of the Tacoma Dome. And the thing is that I don't think that attractiveness and attraction is based off features. I think it's something deeper. Like I think basically when you are born, you immediately start creating a list of everything that you find good and everything that you find desirable and pleasant. And then one day you're going to meet someone and their features in some way mirrors that catalog of pleasantness in your head, and you're attracted to them. Like, there's this girl I like simply because of the way her voice rises when she talks. Like, it's always at the end of her sentences and just this playful, sporty little lilt. You know, kind of like the last word is flying off of a skateboard ramp. And when she asks a question, it's just always a little bit higher. And when she talks to me, I get this feeling in my body of sort of a pleasant unpleasantness. Like when you drink soda too fast and you can feel all the bubbles in your chest. And she has a horrific jacket that she wears all the time. Like, it's so completely ugly and so purely practical, so lacking in aesthetic value that it kind of looks like a homeless person's jacket. Like, if I saw it on any of my other friends, I would think, I wish I reached out to them. I wish I knew that they needed help, and I could give them that help. Because they're obviously homeless now. But on her, it's just cute. And I don't think that skateboard mouth and a soda bubble chest and a homeless man's jacket are necessarily standard models of beauty. But they really, really work for me. Like, they're sort of my thing. Like that and big asses. Just because I know objectively, like features-wise, I look like a potato. Like a cool potato, like a potato with glasses. But, or maybe I look like a potato chip, like an overcooked burnt potato chip, you know? Like the one that's in every bag, it is definitely unique, and it definitely stands out. But when you put it in the pile of all the other chips, you can just tell that something went wrong. Like that's sort of my body type. But I'm okay because I know that one day someone's going to see me and she's going to be immediately drawn to me. Because when she looks at me, she thinks about preparing for a party and pouring Ruffles into a bowl and then shaking the bowl to find that chip because she always eats it first as a good luck charm. And she doesn't know when she started doing it, but she knows it helps with her anxiety. And if she's able to find that chip and eat it, and she's suddenly happy, but now she also can't talk to me, but she doesn't know how to explain it. But I know, because even though I look like an overcooked burnt potato chip, that's some people's favorite kind. Or I could just go running more. So I should probably preface this next joke by telling you guys that I'm doing okay. Like, I'm genuinely happy right now. My life is going pretty good. My only real worry is how many jokes I write that I have to preface with telling you guys I'm doing okay. I am, so we can continue. Why are the depressing things always the most fun? Like, why do you get so much joy, or do I get so much joy out of being depressed or doing the depressing stuff? And like when I'm by myself and I'm doing it okay, like I feel great, but then a friend finds out and they worry about me and then they ruin it. Like, sometimes depression is just objectively fun. Like, Nutrimilk Hotel is a pretty good band. Like, I think we can agree on that. Like, they're kind of the best band. And some of their songs are so amazing and so perfect that you can just listen to them like on repeat over and over again. Like, that's just true, right? And like, Afghans are the best blankets. I think we can all agree on that. Because they're warm, but they're also usually handmade. And so when you wear them, it reminds you of like home and love. And like, rain's nice. And I think we can all take some time to just sit and watch the rain and think about how pleasant it is, right? Like, objectively, all three of these things are great. But when you combine them, and you're listening to the same Nutrimilk Hotel song, wrapped in an Afghan, staring at the rain at 2:30 on a Saturday, and then your friend comes visits, and suddenly he's signing you up for kayak lessons, and wants to get coffee more because you don't see each other enough. Like, but I'm okay, like I know it. I just think that melancholy is sort of a hobby of mine. Like, it's just what I enjoy. Even in the music and the books and the movies, like, basically any art I enjoy has to have a watermark of tragedy. Which sort of makes me an asshole at parties, because someone will recommend me a book, and I'll be like, was it appreciated in its time? Like, did it get the credit it deserves? That's not really a genre I read. Did the author kill himself? Or did he leave the manuscript in his underwear drawer and then just disappear into Mexico? No? He's still writing? He lives in Bainbridge? Yeah, no, I'm not going to read that. Or like music, like I need to have a horrific backstory to most music I enjoy. Like, basically, if there's a band whose producer ruined their first album in some way, so it got shelved by the record label, and also the singer in the process of it went crazy, and then the record label didn't want to release it because of how it sounded, and so no one got to hear it, and no one got to see the band live because they died in a van crash before their first West Coast tour. That's probably one of my favorite albums. Like, that's more than likely it doesn't write a disc. And the thing is that I think everyone just likes different things. Like, some people like putting babies into sunflower costumes, and then taking pictures of them and making a calendar out of it. But I like different stuff. Like, I don't want that. Like, I like dead trees, and puddles. And when old people argue in grocery stores, they try to pretend like they're not arguing. And so they just get more whispery the madder they get, you know? It's like, no, I understand. No, I understand. But I only have 2 hours after work, which is why I want to make this go fast, which is why I make the list. No, I understand. Like, I like that. I like unrequited love. I like abandoned lots. I like it when dads and sons eat at Taco Bell and neither of them will speak to each other. So the son's just staring out the window, and the dad's passive-aggressively squeezing hot sauce packets. Like, sad dads at Taco Bell, and I could make a calendar out of that. One of my happier images, the other day I was walking home down the street, and there was this middle school kid in front of me, and he was probably like 4'5", maybe 5 foot. He was overweight, he had curly hair, and he was wearing a Conan the Barbarian shirt that didn't like fit him, because he was the type of fat that no shirt would fit him, because like he was the type of fat that his body wouldn't fit him. And the music that he was listening to was making him like angry, but also releasing something, and so he was bobbing his head, and then as he walked past every street pole, he would just punch it. And a fat kid lashing out at streetlights, like, that's basically my version of a sunset.